that is. So we used to give my mom nutcrackers, and then we started giving them to my children. But now I'm like, okay, we can't have any more nutcrackers. We have too many.
Oh, you're inspiring me. I have one. I'll bring it. Hold on. But this is my only one. I need to get another one. It's
right. And I'm not discussing crime. We're discussing nutcrackers.
Right here.
Oh, let me see him. Oh, he's pretty.
He's from CVS.
You know, CVS has some really good ones. One of my favorite ones is from CVS. Where is it? I think this airplane one is from CVS, actually. And then
that's cute.
A soccer one. Yeah, I will say the nice, like fancier ones last a really long time. Like this one we gave maybe I'm wrong. The heavier ones do. Some of the little ones like start falling apart.
Yeah, we had to glue that one back together.
Yes, but then some of the nicer ones are like they have this is probably my favorite one, the bee man.
Oh, I love that.
I know. Well, because Russell would go and help this woman, Frances, about her bees. She had bees. And so that was kind of fun. Oh, hell. This is supposed to be supporters only, and it's not.
Okay, cool.
Doggone it.
We start or?
Yeah, we'll start. Okay, I'll do a supporter video after this. I just forgot that I was supposed to do that.
Do you want to restart?
No, it's all right. Is it okay with you?
Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay. And so Seton Tucker is here. Y'all are getting a free. We were going to do a supporter video about the Murdaugh Charged update. Come on, Honor. And funny enough, I was late. You said you needed 5 more minutes. I got a text from a friend that our high school is now releasing because of threats.
Oh my gosh. Do you need to go?
No, I don't have any children at this high school.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's just the high school. And she said something. Let me see what the text said. Hold on. Let's see. They've arrested someone.
Oh gosh.
It's
a scary world.
What?
It's a scary world we live in.
I tell you what, and it makes you wonder, so that thing that happened, let's just talk about this for a minute. In Elizabeth City, where the child had the AR-15 with 30 rounds in it on the bus and marijuana to sell. Do we need to worry about, is there any difference when somebody just takes a gun to school because they're dealing drugs? I mean, obviously that's a problem, but that's less of an active shooter problem. What do you think?
I honestly, I'm haven't had a lot of time to think about this, but I was talking to a friend in Charlotte Med schools. They've had like 80 something teachers quit since the beginning of the year because there have been all of these fights in the schools and it's out of control, some involving multiple groups of kids where police have been called. And I've been so focused on the Murdaugh situation that I really haven't had a chance to follow this. But I don't know. My kids are in public school here, and we've had a couple of incidents where they've had threats, but they've not deemed to be credible. But, I just kind of start thinking it's a matter of time before something happens. It's scary.
Yeah, Janie and Wendy said, yeah, it's an emergency. I mean, it almost makes me sad that I start thinking, well, that's just a drug dealer. That's not a problem for people getting shot. I mean, it's like, who am I crazy? Honor, quiet.
With the drug dealer situation, your kid can be collateral damage. Oh, you're muted.
Well, I'm muted because I live with an insane dog who is going insane because that's what she does. She goes insane.
My dog's barking too, but this is her nap time.
Okay, give us the update. There was no Murdaugh mystery bond today, right?
Yeah, the bond hearing was supposed to be at 9 a.m. this morning, but it's been delayed till next week. We don't actually have what day. They haven't released that as far as I know. I haven't seen it this morning yet. But yesterday, a state grand jury accused Alec of 21 new counts of financial crimes, and 48 separate charges totaling $1.3 million of more money missing. So that brings the total to over $6,000 of money missing. And some of the counts are just crazy. If these are true, he's a terrible person.
Tell us. I want to know.
Okay, so let's see. I'm just kind of reading through some of these. He took money from a friend. That was supposed to receive $85,000 of settlement money, and it was supposed to satisfy a medical lien, but it went to his personal bank account, and apparently this was a close friend. There was another settlement where he told the clients that they would, it wasn't that much, so he wouldn't charge attorney's fees. He was being a nice guy because it was only $30,000, but in fact, the settlement was for $180,000. So there's that.
So he should have gotten $60,000 himself.
Yeah.
But he ended up taking 100 and what'd you say, 80?
Well, the settlement was for 180, but he told the
gave
client
30
that it was 30. So he got
80%.
Right. He took 150 of it, and he was being nice because he wasn't going to charge them because they didn't get that much. And then he used the money to pay off a credit card bill, pay family members and associates. There was
who pay family members? What family members? Do you pay family members? I don't.
No, but I mean, he has a lawsuit from his own brother and another associate, claiming he owes them lots of money. So again, he's been borrowing money. I'm curious to see, I'm curious to know what the family members thought he was borrowing large sums of money for.
And maybe I'm crazy, but I don't have large sums to lend out. So maybe that takes me off the docket.
No, it's weird. One of his former law partners, I don't have my notes in front of me. So if I get it wrong, please don't Christopher, but it was over, I think it was at least $200,000 that he owed this. None of my friends would lend me $200,000.
No, that's what we call a mortgage in these parts.
Yes, exactly. That's a really large sum of money. And what did they think this money was going for? It just seems that they haven't said what they thought the money was going for. I mean, some of the money his brother lent him was for the rehab and that sort of thing.
But that's why you have health insurance.
Yeah, I think though health insurance is a little iffy on what they pay for rehab. I've heard.
Yeah, I believe it, but
if you're going to go to a good rehab, it's expensive.
Right.
Then there was another thing that he told the clients that he spent $100,000 for an accident reconstruction, which he did not spend, which he also used that. Just there more and more information. I mean, it goes on and on. It's $3 million more money that he took from clients. And we said from the beginning, people who had lawsuits where he represented them need to start looking into it because there's a chance. And yeah, it turns out so we're talking to our legal analyst, John Snyder, today. And, I'm kind of curious to know if his former law firm will be in hot water for this because there's, lots of money missing from their, what's it called? My words are escaping me. When they're trust.
Escrow.
Escrow. Yeah. Escrow and trust. They're supposed to, that's supposed to be sacred. You don't touch that money.
Right.
And lots of that money is missing. So I kind of want to talk to John Snyder and see, A, if he has any idea how this could possibly have happened, and B, what are going to be the repercussions for PMPED, the law firm that Alec worked for.
Right. Which is so interesting because they sued Alec, but you're like, well, you might need to be suing yourself. What were you up to?
Right. What sort of safeguards are required for that? So, it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's so much, money. We know based on the lawsuit for B of A that, there were 2 forged accounts set up, one in 2015, one in 2018. And, I just don't know how. We're also going to talk about Bank of America on our podcast today because they've had a lawsuit filed against them as well. Oh, and now just yesterday, Bland has brought in Eddie Smith. So Eddie they're saying, that's 1 point. Let's see, I have to get my notes. He said he may have received as much as $2 million of Satterfield funds. But, from all accounts, Eddie was not living some sort of fancy lifestyle. I mean, it didn't see. So his attorneys, have kind of responded and just said, he is not living a lavish lifestyle, that sort of thing. Bland and Richter have questioned, like, where is all this money? I mean, if Eddie's not living in a mansion, Alec, lived in, Colleton, Hampton County.
Right.
A nice house, but it still can't account for $6 million of missing money.
So Eddie was sued today, Janie said?
Yeah, I think it was just yesterday. Yesterday.
And who sued him?
Bland. So Bland earlier this week, Bland and Richter, which represents the Satterfield heirs, they brought in Bank of America earlier this week. And when they brought in Bank of America, they kind of described this money trail where, where Eddie had received 17 cashier checks for $165,000 and another 254 personal checks totaling $1.8 million. So, that we knew that he had received like $155,000, but now they're saying he had received, a couple $1 million.
Well, let's just stop for a minute. So one, Alec Murdaugh said months ago, remember, they were like, well, he wrote personal checks for drugs. So clearly that appears to be true, which is, again, insane. Right?
I mean, I didn't even know people really use checks that often anymore.
I mean, right. Like, you have to use them sometimes, or you can. But then the other thing is, Maggie, his wife, if these are personal checks, again, call me crazy, we're not some riches. When we have an expense, it comes through on my banking, it pops up. So if I see a check for $1,800, like this morning, I saw one, I was like, whoa, what was that? Like, oh, it was some property taxes. Great.
Right.
Okay, right? That makes sense. But I went in, I looked at the check. So you're talking about 1.8 million and 284 checks. Did she not even, is this like the day of women not even looking at the bank accounts? I mean, anyway, that's just not a good.
We've seen reports. I mean, of course, there's two sides. We hear people saying that they had a great marriage, but we also, saw in the People magazine article that she, bounced a check at a charity auction and that she was looking into finances and had consulted a divorce attorney. So you're hearing two polar opposite sides of the story. I personally don't know which one is true. I mean,
right.
I would know it if my husband was spending that kind of money. Personally, I would do it. I think most people would.
Well, most people don't have that kind of money to even waste.
Actually, though, one of the checks that is in this lawsuit was that Bland filed against Bank of America, saying that they should have had more safeguards in practice to prevent against money laundering, and lots of legalese about this. And one of the checks was actually endorsed by Maggie for like $800 and something. And they were smart. They kept almost all the checks under $10,000, which is that threshold to not raise red flags.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm thinking, was Eddie like going to the bank every other day? He must have been. He was driving around to bank to bank to bank.
Right. And I still just don't understand how that much money could have been spent. I know that people say, oh, it can be, but I don't
I think where the money is, and Bland is questioning that. I think that's the big question. And once we find out where this money is, then we'll get the answers on lots of questions.
So they didn't do the bond hearing today because of all these new charges. So clearly they wanted to get the new charges in to maybe hopefully keep him locked up, right?
Right. It's interesting, though, and we're going to talk to John about this today. So the bond hearing.
Seaton is filming an episode right after this that'll be available. When will it be available on your podcast, Seaton?
I hope to have it up today.
Murdaugh Mystery, Family of Influence.
Yes. So we had, I just lost my train of thought. My old lady brain does not work.
No, I interrupted you. The question of the charges, extra charges to keep him in jail.
Okay. Yes. So it's interesting, though. So back in November, they ruled that this Judge Newman would be in charge of all things Murdaugh. And Judge Newman is the one who has denied bond to Elliott 2 times. So his attorneys filed a writ of habeas corpus, basically saying it's against his constitutional right to not give him bond. It seemed more punitive kind of thing. So they filed this writ to the South Carolina Supreme Court. Meanwhile, they've assigned another judge, which has been assigned by the Attorney General's. No, not the Attorney General. I don't know who. Somebody's assigned this another judge to hear this bond hearing. And it's not Judge Newman. It's going to be another judge who is going to hear the bond hearing. So it's kind of interesting. I don't really understand why there's a third judge. And then there's also still this pending writ of habeas corpus. So we're going to talk to John and get the legal side of that today. Because it seems like he could potentially get bond from this judge, and then someone rules on the writ of habeas corpus, and it could be ruled in a different way. So that could create a lot of legal problems. The Murdaugh family is keeping the South Carolina lawyers busy.
Well, I was just thinking, this is like churning so much business in South Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the new ferry system where I live. I mean, this is just keeping people moving. Then they're probably reporters eating lunch there. I mean, it's probably just boosted the whole economy.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's a good place to be a lawyer.
Autumn said the new judge is crooked and known for letting people out on puny bonds.
I did see some reports of that. I don't have any personal knowledge of that. I saw just people saying that he was a little bit more lenient. But again, I don't have any personal knowledge. I think he used to be like a magistrate down in Foley, different things, but I don't know the ins and outs of this judge personally. So I can't say.
Thank you for telling us about the new charges and keeping us informed. And next time it will be just supporters. I don't think I can do this StreamYard thing when I do just a supporter video. So
I won't
be tricked again. Supporters.
No. I'm going to have to figure out the technology. I love this StreamYard. It's so much easier.
I know. It's so nice. But damn if I can't figure it out. I know we're going to have the blurry vision of the supporter group.
Well, I have to try to figure out how to log in, which it always takes me almost
this really is so easy. I will say that.
It's very
yes. And so Seaton will be doing the supporter giveaway, I think is next Saturday, giving away lots of Shaboomy, lots of really cool items for December.
Yay.
Since you're a supporter, you'll be there.
I will be there for sure. Get some goodies.
I know, got to get some goodies. It's like Oprah over here in Edenton, North Carolina.
Now, I'm supposed to go to Walmart to buy my daughter some neon. She's going to a neon birthday party tonight, and now I'm looking at your nutcrackers. I'm like, I just want to go shop for some nutcrackers.
For Christmas? Yes. A neon birthday party. I don't know if I'm a fan of birthday parties that require me to have to go get a certain outfit.
No, I don't like it either, but I guess this is the thing that girls like to make life
fun. I know. I'm real into giving people $20.
Oh, my daughter's one of these big gift givers. Like, she loves it. She goes to Target and she wants to get a box that is this color, and then everything has to be color coordinated in it. You're going to get the candy that matches the thing, the bath bomb.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Oh yeah, I know about that person. I live with them, but I'm like, you can spend your own money on their presents, which she actually will. I mean, I'm like, you're crazy. You have no money. She's like the family of the Murdaugh. She's just giving all her money away, but she didn't have a pot to piss in.
I know. Well, we also have our trolley business. We run a trolley business in Fort Mill, and we're doing this cool. Did I not tell you about this?
No, a trolley?
Yes, we own a trolley called Yoko Loco. We bought it about the same time that I got involved in this podcast. So now I have this job. My husband and his friend bought it. So it was kind of a job that I didn't really apply for, but it's now
like general.
So we do like these brew tours around York County. They're fun, but we're doing a Polar Express thing for the kids in
Nice.
during the holiday season. So, but it is a lot of work. Like, we have a big thing of hot chocolate to make, and it's really fun, but it's more work than I anticipated.
Maybe what you need, so they had that in Edenton last weekend, and what they did was they had the coffee house had set up, and they were selling hot chocolate to the people that were riding on the Polar Express.
We did not charge enough for our Polar Express. I mean, we should have charged. We only are charging $10 a person, which is why it's sold out. But they get hot chocolate, a cookie, they get a spotting of Santa, and a bell, and a golden ticket. I feel like we undercharged.
We only had to pay $5.
But you had to pay for your own hot chocolate.
If you wanted hot chocolate, you could buy a cup for $1.
Oh, so you're thinking we charge too much?
No, I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. It's totally off topic. We had Grant from Main Street that helped pay for the event.
Oh, well, that's what we should have hooked up with the town and tried to get some.
Yes, that's what you want to do. You want to look for free money whenever it's available.
I know. Things we learn next year.
But I agree with you. If I were just doing it on my own, though, I will say, anytime you're getting involved in, we're selling hot cocoa tonight for the youth group. And whenever I sell anything, I feel like I spend more. It's like a yard sale. If you have a yard sale, you make like $9 and spend 3 weeks getting ready. I mean,
I know. And then you haggle over 25 cents. I can't.
No, I mean, now I just put stuff in the yard and I say free, and then people pick it up. I mean, I just have given up.
Yeah.
I guess it's good for the children. I like to go to a yard sale, but not to have them.
Yes, I'm with you.
Well, good luck with the trolley, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, stay tuned for our episode, which should come out tonight. And also Sunday night, we have our Oxygen special. So
Seaton's Oxygen special. And what time is that on Seaton?
8:00 on Sunday nights.
Sunday night, 8:00, Oxygen. And then her new podcast episode with the attorneys to ask all sorts of legal questions is this afternoon.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Thanks, Seaton.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.